The role of policy. Addressing land degradation and its impact on agriculture. Title: The role of policy. Addressing land degradation and its impact on agriculture. Introduction. Land degradation is an alarming global issue with significant implications for agriculture and the overall sustainability of ecosystems. It arises due to various interconnected factors, including deforestation, unsustainable agricultural practices, urbanization, and climate change. Consequently, policy interventions at both national and international levels play a crucial role in mitigating the adverse effects of land degradation and promoting sustainable agriculture. This article aims to explore the multifaceted relationship between land degradation, agriculture, and policy, and highlight the importance of effective policy measures in addressing these challenges. 1. Understanding land degradation. Land degradation refers to the continuous deterioration of the quality and productivity of land resources, negatively impacting the environment and human well-being. It manifests in different forms, such as soil erosion, desertification, loss of biodiversity, and declining soil fertility. Unsustainable agricultural practices, including overexploitation of land, improper irrigation, and excessive use of synthetic fertilizers, contribute significantly to land degradation. 2. Linkage between land degradation and agriculture. Agriculture heavily relies on land resources, making it directly vulnerable to land degradation. As productive land diminishes, crop yields decline, leading to food insecurity and economic instability. Additionally, land degradation affects water quality and availability, reducing farmers' ability to sustain irrigation systems. The loss of soil fertility not only hampers agricultural productivity, but also disrupts natural ecosystems. Farmers are forced to expand farmlands into ecologically sensitive areas, exacerbating deforestation and biodiversity loss. Moreover, land degradation contributes to greenhouse gas emissions, thus exacerbating climate change further and creating a vicious cycle. 3. Policy approaches to combat land degradation. Addressing land degradation and its impact on agriculture requires comprehensive and coherent policy strategies. Key policy approaches include: A. Land use planning. Effective land use planning ensures that land resources are utilized sustainably, avoiding encroachment into vulnerable areas. Governments need to enforce zoning regulations, promote agroforestry, and establish protected areas to protect ecologically sensitive lands. B. Sustainable agricultural practices. Encouraging the adoption of sustainable agricultural practices is critical to mitigating land degradation. Policies should prioritize organic farming, crop rotation, agroecology, and integrated pest management, reducing reliance on synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. C. Soil conservation measures. Governments should implement measures such as terracing, contour plowing, and reforestation to combat soil erosion and prevent sediment deposition in water bodies. These policies not only protect agricultural lands, but also maintain water quality and preserve aquatic ecosystems. Reinforcing water rights, establishing water use permits, and encouraging wastewater recycling can support responsible water management. E. Awareness and education. Public awareness campaigns and educational programs must highlight the negative consequences of land degradation and promote sustainable land management practices. Encouraging participation from farmers and local communities can foster a sense of responsibility and ownership in preserving land resources. 4. International cooperation and agreements. Given the transboundary nature of land degradation, international cooperation is crucial. Collaborative efforts should focus on sharing experiences, knowledge, and best practices. 5. Monitoring and evaluation. Comprehensive monitoring and evaluation systems are vital to assess policy effectiveness and identify areas for improvement. Governments should establish regular monitoring frameworks that track indicators such as land cover change, soil quality, and agricultural productivity. Such data-driven assessments allow policymakers to make informed decisions and adjust strategies accordingly. Title: The role of policy. Addressing land degradation and its impact on agriculture, Part 2. 6. Economic incentives and support. In addition to regulatory measures, governments can provide economic incentives and support to encourage sustainable land management practices. This can include financial assistance, tax breaks, subsidies, and grants for farmers who adopt sustainable farming techniques. Such incentives can motivate farmers to prioritize land conservation and sustainable agriculture. 7. Technology and innovation. Policy interventions should also focus on promoting technology and innovation in agriculture to address land degradation. Investing in research and development for soil conservation, precision farming, and sustainable irrigation systems can enhance productivity while minimizing environmental impacts. Governments can foster partnerships between scientists, farmers, and industry experts to facilitate the adoption of cutting-edge technologies. 8. Land restoration and rehabilitation. Policymakers should prioritize land restoration programs to rehabilitate degraded lands and restore their productivity. This can involve initiatives such as reforestation, afforestation, and land reclamation. By restoring degraded lands, policymakers can enhance biodiversity, improve soil quality, and mitigate the impact of climate change. 9. Enforcement and governance. Effective policy implementation requires robust enforcement mechanisms and good governance. Strengthening governance and institutions can ensure that policy objectives are effectively achieved. 10. Resilience and adaptation. Climate change poses additional challenges to land degradation and agriculture. Policies should prioritize building resilience and adaptation capacity to withstand the impacts of climate change. 11. Collaboration with indigenous communities. Indigenous communities often possess valuable traditional knowledge and practices for sustainable land management. Policy initiatives should involve collaboration and engagement with indigenous communities to incorporate their expertise into land conservation efforts. This can help preserve cultural heritage, protect biodiversity, and ensure the long-term sustainability of land resources. 12. Monitoring and early warning systems. Timely detection and response to land degradation are crucial. Governments should invest in monitoring technologies, remote sensing, and early warning systems to identify areas at risk of degradation and take proactive measures. Monitoring data can inform policy decision-making, prevent further degradation, and promote adaptive management approaches. 13. Financial investment. Adequate financial investment is crucial for effective policy implementation and achieving tangible results. Governments need to allocate sufficient funds for land degradation programs, research and development, capacity building, and monitoring systems. Additionally, international financial institutions and donor organizations can play a significant role in providing financial support and investments for sustainable land management initiatives. 14. Long-term planning. Policymakers must adopt a long-term perspective when addressing land degradation and its impact on agriculture. This requires considering the evolving environmental, economic, and social dynamics and developing strategies that are adaptable and resilient. Long-term planning ensures that policy measures remain relevant and effective in the face of changing circumstances. Governments should actively engage these stakeholders in the decision-making process, ensuring their voices are heard and their concerns are addressed. Collaborative approaches that foster dialogue, consultation, and partnerships can lead to more inclusive and sustainable land management policies. 16. Land rights and tenure security. Secure land rights and tenure systems are crucial for sustainable land management. Governments should establish clear and transparent land rights frameworks, recognizing and protecting the rights of indigenous communities and small-scale farmers. This can enhance land tenure security, reduce land conflicts, and incentivize responsible land use practices. 17. Knowledge exchange and capacity building. Policy interventions should prioritize knowledge exchange and capacity building initiatives. This can involve promoting training programs, workshops, and knowledge-sharing platforms to enhance the understanding of sustainable land management practices. Building the capacity of farmers, extension workers, and policymakers can foster the adoption of evidence-based approaches and improve the effectiveness of policy implementation. 18. Integrated landscape approaches. Recognizing the interconnectedness of land, water, and ecosystems, policymakers should adopt integrated landscape approaches. These approaches consider the entire landscape as a functional unit, promoting holistic land management strategies. By integrating land use planning, agriculture, forestry, and conservation efforts, policymakers can achieve synergy and maximize the benefits of sustainable land management. 19. Gender equality and empowerment. Gender equality is crucial for effective policy implementation and sustainable land management. Policies should ensure equal access to land resources, financial services, and decision-making processes for both